Hello, dear friends. What a blessing to be with you today. Here we are for another study of one of the articles of the Spiritist magazine. And today we're going to be talking about individualism. So, this is one of the articles from issue 34, Individualism, by the Spirit Emmanuel, through the mediumship of Francisco Candido Xavier. What a blessing to be with you today. It's always an honor to be here. And of course, we always want to remind everybody that you can go and visit the website spiritistmagazine.org, where you can find all of the issues of the magazine free of charge, either for download or for purchasing your copy. You can purchase a physical copy of the magazine for you to study and have these teachings at your own house. The app, so many ways. No more excuses for any of us to do this. So let me share my screen with you, where you can see the beautiful teachings we're going to be talking about today by the Spirit Emmanuel. Issue 34 was published initially in 2016. It's all dedicated, the majority of it dedicated to the Spiritist youth, and then how we can teach the new generation the beautiful teachings of Spiritism. And this article is from the book Roteiro, which would be roadmap, let's say, one day when it becomes translated and published in English. For now, you can enjoy some of the articles right here at the Spiritist magazine. We live in a time where we're very individualistic. We see ourselves as just ourselves, our professions. And then today we're going to learn that we need to see ourselves as part of a community, just as the law society dictates, right? So let's see what Emmanuel has in store for us today. He says, why in contact with the ideals of the new revelation? The individual senses his vision naturally expanding and begins to perceive with greater amplitude the problems that surround him. His or her sensibility sharpens and his or her ability to love intensifies. The heart is converted into a deep spiritual estuary wherein all human pain finds resonance. As a result, his distress is greater since his aspirations do not startle any attunement in the lower planes where he still breathes. How many of us come in contact with Spiritism, the responsibility we have in this lifetime to redress what we've done before, to reconcile, to expand and serve others, and then our abilities, our sensitivities intensify. We're able to see the other as a brother and a sister in need, just as we are students and patients of this beautiful hospital and school called Earth. Then in the beginning, we get to be a little bit more distressed because we aspire for more, yet we still are left in a place with lower vibrational attunement, where some of us are still dwelling in evil. So we see the difficulties around us, we're more compassionate and empathetic. Then we want everybody to know the same. He says then the student wishes to have all of his loved ones follow him along the path of a higher life, and we start to trying to convert other people. Isn't that true? He says, however, as Yusha advances in their knowledge and refines their sensations, they realize quite often that his loved ones become more distant from him. It happens sometimes where we're moving forward. We're finally in this life, we're able to open our hearts to see the teachings and the beauty of what we have, and then we are, oh my God, we don't attune anymore. We don't want to do the same things anymore. We want to spend our Thanksgiving and our holidays helping others, and people are still dwelling in their own needs. And that's okay. It says here it is the romantic partner who perseveres on a different path. There, a fatherly heart who, out of misguided affection, make one ascension towards light more difficult. Yesterday was the sun who struck at one's innermost fiber. Today is a friend that deserts. Sometimes we do feel like when we learn something so profoundly inspiring and life transforming as Spiritism that we're moving and people being left behind. In truth, it's true, but then we respect the time, right? Everybody has their own path, and then we learn and we get to know of one another. We make new connections with those who are trying to move forward a little bit more, a little bit faster than others. Or we hesitate, as it says next. It says, if the disciple does not give in to trepidation and to discouragement, he gradually begins to realize that he is alone in himself or herself in order to learn and assist. Likewise, he also begins to understand that through goodwill and sacrifice, he acquires eternal values for him or herself. So sometimes we need to have this inner transformation that brings from within. We are in a collective experience on the earth. The law is of society. The law is of progress. We are supposed to get better over time, leaving the old human behind and birthing the new human inside of us. But the journey is ours. I need to choose to improve. They need to choose to improve. And that's when sometimes we realize we are left alone in order to learn and to help. We learn this and we reach out to those who are in more need than we are. The more he or she yields in favor of all, the more she's compensated by divine law, which enrich them with strength and joy in the great silence. So even though we feel alone, divine law gives us back much more than we can ever imagine, enriching us, nourishing us, because guess what? We are never alone. We are in contact with different spirits around us. We're in touch with one another. Then when we reach out to others, we make friends. We expand our spiritual relationships. We've studied this before here. Where when I do something for someone, their spirit mentors, guides, spirit friends take a liking in me. And then when I'm in need, they can help me. It's not a one-to-one quid pro quo kind of situation. But it is a realization that there's life and this interchange between both realms. Maybe I need someone who will never be able to give anything back to me, but their loved ones in their spiritual realm could. Or someone else unrelated to that person gets to do something for me that I never able to give to them. But it all comes with this birth inside of me where I'm more sensitive and empathetic and I want to move to a different state of attunement with the good. He says, while the daily stride, she comes to the conclusion that individualism attuned to the inescapable principles of goodness is the basis for collective growth. Society improves when each and every one of us improves. Our communities get better when each and every individual in that community gets better. Then we start to realize that we were created to live in communion with fellow beings. We're not here to be alone, selfish, thinking about my life, my house. Because when I hoard the resources in my community, then other people somewhere else don't have those resources. Then they are unable to grow in their potentiality, to do good in the world as we're supposed to do. It says that we are one unit in a whole complex in the process of improvement. We are one cog in the machine of life. And each and every one of us has a role. And then each and every one of us growing individually makes the whole improved. We know that we cannot run away from cooperation without causing damage. However, like a tree in a plant of kingdom, it needs to grow and assist with efficiency in order to assure the field's steadiness and become well thought off. No one lives alone. We don't live alone. No matter what people tell you, pull yourself by your bootstraps in this individualistic American society. We are here together. Someone had to teach you how to speak, to write, to walk, wipe you, change your diapers. You didn't do that alone. You didn't build the schools and the roads or the equipment that we use to do all of this. We are here together. However, there always comes a time when it's indispensable for the soul to know how to struggle in solitude in order to live well. Remember Paul? He had to spend 3 years in the desert with his close friend Prisca and Aquila. But he had to do the inner journey to improve himself in order to grow. The struggle is individual, but we can help one another, and we are one in the whole universe that conspires for us to be happy, to be good, to do the good. In order to add value to the storehouse and enrich the table, the seed rests amongst millions of others that it identifies with. When you plant a seed, it's not one wheat that you go and plant and make a bread. Millions of seeds who grow the wheat, who someone else harvests, someone else sowed, someone else processed, and then comes to my house to make a bread. However, when called to produce with life for the general comfort of all, it needs to learn to remain isolated in the cold bosom of the earth. The seed goes down first, friends, grows the roots into the darkness of the soil, trusting in God to provide, gets the nourishments. Then the leaf comes out towards the light. That's the beautiful imagery that he's talking about. We're one seed in the billions of seeds on the earth today incarnated, and the many billions discarnated. We are one. Sometimes we need to learn to remain isolated in the cold. But then, when we remove our inferior wrappings, as if it was reduced to mud and death, in order to then shoot off the new branches and race towards the sun. Each and every one of us working within our own shadows, the things we are still short at, we can grow. We grow the roots, we get stronger, then we can shoot out to help others. Without the individual becoming strong and wise, the crowd will always more violently, without the individual becoming strong and wise, the crowd will always move violently between ignorance and misery. Effort improvement of the unit for the progress and sublimation of the whole, that is all. So you grow and improve through effort. And then the progress and sublimation is of everyone. When we improve ourselves, we can better serve those in our communities. Steam navigation, so he's going to give us examples now. Steam navigation is a heritage of humanity, but we owe it to the work of Photon. The printing press is a direct force of prime importance, but we must not forget the devotion of Gutenberg. Electric light is a problem solved in some parts of the world. Fortunately, others still are waiting for electricity. But it fell on Edison to honor the struggle so that such blessing could dissipate the night of the world. The locomotive, we need to thank Stephenson for its beginning. On Earth came Newton, invariably ahead of his day's knowledge regarding gravitation, and Marconi will never be erased from the establishment of wireless communication. So what we have today is due to the effort of a few who struggled and persevered for the betterment of everyone. Each flower radiates a specific fragrance. Each star possesses its own brightness. Each one of us is the bearer of a certain mission. You have a place on the universe that's yours alone. We're going to get to know of it when we come to Pure Spirit. For now, you have your brightness. You have a potential to improve the life of so many. How beautiful that is. Confirming the gospel, Spiritism comes to support men and women, inviting them to improve themselves and to expand according to the law that asserts to each one according to its deeds. Dear friends, may your light shine everywhere you go. May the potential that you have within yourself, that seed of divinity, as Emmanuel says in the book Living Spring, chapter 30, that is inside of you, may it germinate divine wisdom, even within the struggle that you go through today. I hope that you found this message enlightening. I hope it will help you deal with your own growth, your own individual progress for the betterment of everyone. Dear friends, visit spiritistmagazine.org. Stick around because our friend Carol Correa will be with you later in the at 9 o'clock with the study of the divine laws as contained in the Spirit's book. Until then, stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.